The pollination bees are back. It's Saturday, March 19th. They came in late Wednesday night. We dropped them out here in the middle of the night, and they've had a couple days to get settled in here. It rained a lot yesterday, several inches, and so I doubt they were flying much then. But they are super busy today. It's a perfect day to break into bees, so let's go see what we got. This is the first one we're going to do right here. I just kind of randomly selected it. It's a busy colony. My goal with these colonies is to ultimately split them, but I'm trying to buy a little bit of time. I have some queens coming from Jose, the California beekeeper, and I'd like to use his mated queens if I could when I split them. There's a lid. It's just always such a cool thing. My goal is to figure out a way to create some space to hopefully help prevent swarming. I must have put a box that was not completely drawn out on here, obviously, because some of these frames aren't drawn out. So maybe I'll just put some new foundation in here. So they're just drawing this out now. A little bit of pollen in these cells up here. This particular colony is not really feisty at all, which is good. Maybe they won't be too bad. It's springtime now. Yeah, there's that almond honey right there. On pretty much all these colonies, I'm going to reverse these boxes, put the honey on the bottom. The almond honey is not very good. It doesn't taste very good. I think it's really good for bees, but it's not real good for human consumption. People don't typically like it very much. So I'm going to try some of this, see how it tastes. It's really kind of pretty to look at. It's nice and clear. Here we go. It's just not very good. The initial flavor isn't bad, but it has like kind of a weird aftertaste to it. Let's pull out one of these middle frames and see if we have brood sneaking up into this top box. I don't really see any looking down in there. Mostly honey right here. Let's pull this top box off and see what we have in the next box down. Lots of honey. Lots of pollen. All that middle section is pollen. Kind of orange and yellowish pollen. I'm seeing some eggs in here, but no real brood yet. Yeah, there are eggs in almost all these cells right here. Let's dig a little deeper. Oh, I'm starting to see some brood. We've got a lot of eggs. We got a little brood over here. Eggs and milk brood mostly in this section. These bees actually have some room in here, so I am going to reverse the boxes though and get this brood on top. So if I do split them in a couple of weeks, the brood is on the top. Yep, there's the queen right there. She's got a white dot on her still, so she's a new queen from last year. They're not crazy packed out like I thought they might be, but they're strong. It's a nice strong colony. And when our honey flow hits here, they should be able to pack in a little bit of honey for us. Yeah, we got a lot of wax here we can render and save. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and reverse it like the original plan was. This section right here up top, put the honey down below. The bees will kind of redistribute everything as they want, but I don't think I'm going to add another deep on here quite yet. I think they've got a little room to work right here, and we'll see what happens. This X right here represents a Lappy's Italian queen that was in here. If it's the colony I'm thinking of, they had really built up nicely before they left. They're not looking as strong as I anticipated. Main thing I want to see is a lot of brood in here. We got brood right here, regular worker brood. We also have some cells for drones right there. Actually looks like they may have emerged already, but look at that nice little pattern of brood here. In here I'm seeing milk brood. Let's see if we see some eggs in here. If we see eggs, I know we're in good shape. Really young larvae. I bet we got us a queen. Look at that beautiful pattern of brood right there. We got us a lot of larvae in there. They seem to be doing well. I want to see what's going on in that bottom box. Yeah, I'm really not seeing the packed out hives that I kind of anticipated. I wonder if this one could have swarmed. It's very well possible they built up strong in California and swarmed out there. We have a fair amount of brood. I'm really not seeing any eggs. Well, that's interesting. We're going to go ahead and reverse them. Just let them do their thing. If there is a virgin queen in here, or a young queen, hopefully she hasn't gotten lost on a mating flight or anything. Hopefully she'll make it back. But we'll have to monitor them closely and make sure we don't lose them, make sure they stay strong. So I'm just going to go ahead and reverse them, and I'll go from there. Well, this is some kind of grading system they have, X and a 1. I'm not sure what that means. From what I understand, they randomly grade them, and if there's an X on the box, it means that box is actually graded, but I'm not sure what the numbers mean. That one over there has a 3 on it. I don't know. I think this one's gonna be pretty strong. Let's look at it and see. I think I've gone through 11 or 12 of them. 2 or 3 of them have been not super impressive, but the rest of them have been pretty good. The bees are a little rowdy. There might be a little robbing going on. I may not be able to be out here much longer. Fortunately, it's getting late, kind of late, and so I smoked them. Look at that. Wow. There's the lid. Look at all those bees and look at all that wax they've built up on there. These lids, some of them have what I call patty rims around the edge for feeding patties. So it creates a little extra space, and they build wax on them, which I'm not too upset about that because I can just scrape that wax off easily and go melt it down and render it, and it will become really pretty wax. And so I scrape it into my container over here. So if we have wax like this from several colonies, that'll end up being a nice amount of wax for us. There's a lot of honey in this one. Milk brood all in there, so they've started moving up into the second box. Nice brood on that side. I'm hoping the bottom box is full of brood. We'll find out. Oh, I got one of my beetle towels in there. I think it's all purplized. Something is. There we go. One of the frames were just down. Oh. I can already tell there's a lot of brood down in there, so let's just switch them. Ooh. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Why am I doing that? It really shouldn't matter. The bees can have the honey on the bottom. Look at all the bees on the bottom of that box. Wow. I need to figure out a way to kind of get them back up in the frames before I set them on top of that other box. There we go. Should be okay. Wow, look at those bees. Now we're going to smoke them down. You know, it's interesting. The bees are really, they're quite active. They're flying around, but they're really not super aggressive towards me. Or, you know, of course I got my jacket on here, but you know, they've been through a lot in the last few days. You know, 5 days ago, they put them on a semi, came all the way across the country. And here they are, and then here I am getting into them, not letting them do their thing. I guess they have the right to be a little bit aggravated. Now, what I'm going to do, I've got this other box right here. It's going to be hard to see it all, but got 5 frames of Pierco triple wax frames, foundation. I'm going to probably pull this frame of food right here up to the top where they got it glued down, which you would expect. So just put that in the same position, at least for now, on that top box. Gonna move this. I want the food to all be on the outside. I want that queen to have plenty of room to roam and to lay. I think we're gonna see some pretty nice brood here. Just trying to open up that brood space a bit. Hopefully they won't snap into swarm mode. This frame right here, a little pollen in it. Cells are pretty well polished though, so I imagine she's gonna start laying there pretty quick. We'll leave this one down here. I grab this next one over, probably put it in the top. It's got brood on it. I'm really not seeing a lot of just solid sheets of brood, but I'm definitely seeing brood in most of these colonies. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this one over here. I'm just grab a couple frames of brood and put them up here. Right there's the cup where we put a cell in here last year. So this queen right here was from a cell when we made our splits last year. Let's leave that one in there. Frame of comb right in there. That'll give her a place to lay. So see, she's got some brood in this box, some brood in the top. We're gonna put some comb kind of in between it. Help stimulate her to keep laying. Here's a frame of food right here. Frame of food right there. These are beautiful bees. They're bright, kind of yellow colored, really pretty. So I'm trying to kind of keep the brood nest together in each level with some comb in between. A little foundation kind of on the outside. Put the food completely on the outside. Give them some room to build some comb right through here. Food, brood. I think it's brood, some just drawn comb. So I'm just doing them a little different, each one, just kind of playing it by ear, trying to assess as I go. Hopefully it'll turn out okay. I guess we'll see. Bees are actually calming down a little bit. They're not quite as wild out here. Let's set this other box down here. Foundation out here, empty foundation. Some drawn comb. I think that's one I maybe pulled up. So we just have some brood kind of in the middle, brood right there, if you can tell. And an empty foundation here, food right here. So just kind of trying to keep them in a position to where they can work the middle of the hive and have food on the outside with some room to build. So you see I had this box right here. The new box I added sitting up on top of this lid kind of straddled. So when I change the bees and position them around, if the bees drop through, they just drop on top of the lid. So now all I gotta do is just kind of turn that lid over. And I may just kind of bump them so I try not to smash as many of them. Kind of like this. Give them a chance to kind of go down in between the frames. You can also kind of smoke them a little bit. And then you smash fewer bees. Well, it's been a couple days. It's Monday the 21st of March. I got through 17 of these on Saturday. I'm gonna go through the rest of them today. One thing I wanted to show you though is kind of interesting. Look at all that pollen right down there. The bee bread that they've dragged out. They got some sitting on the front of the hive there. I'm not sure if this is old pollen from frames I put in there of drawn comb or what it is, but they're definitely pulling it out for some reason. So interesting. All right, here's Phillip, Alabama bee inspector. What do you think, Phillip?
Oh man, I tell you, these are really looking good coming back from California. These are really strong colonies.
Yeah, we've gone through what, 4 or 5 of them?
Yes, they all look really good.
So far, everyone we've cracked in has looked really good.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed with brucesbees.
We're having fun out here though, and Phillip's a good guy. We have a good time going through the bees. Man, they are looking good.
Look at that, that's nice. Look how gentle they are.
Yeah, all mine aren't like that, but these look to be.
Man.
This is my goal, is for all my bees to be gentle.
And see, there's not that many out front flying around though, you know what I mean? So it's kind of deceiving a little bit.
Yeah.
Man, I'm impressed, gosh. I was just checking these where they weren't flying a whole lot, you know.
Yeah.
That's the one where they were. You'd already done these, hadn't you?
Yeah, see that one's after I put
Look at that. Look at all the bees already back up there.
Yeah. It's fun. Fun stuff, man. Appreciate you coming out here.
Well, I'll tell you what, they look good.
All right, I had this box right here over sitting on this lid, and here's why it's important. The queen was in that box. And there she is. Had she been in the grass or somewhere else, I might have lost her, not even seen her. Well, I got through them, and I'm really excited. Today, we didn't have hardly any that weren't strong enough to stack up with another deep on top. We got 40 that we stacked up. I think we got 8 that we did not. Bees are looking strong, lots of population, plenty of food in these hives, of course, with the honey. We did kind of expand the brood space, giving plenty of things to do, plenty of work to do to hopefully help prevent swarming. Didn't really see any evidence of swarming to speak of. Now you'll see these bees right here trying to rob. These are the last 4 I went through. It got pretty rough towards the end of the day. Hopefully they'll be settled down here pretty soon. If we walk down the line right here, you'll see that by the time we get to this pallet right here, there's hardly any robbing going on. And so they'll settle down pretty quick here, I think. The bees are back. They're doing well. We're gonna do some splits in a couple of 3 weeks and see where this year takes us. Y'all take care, be safe, and we'll catch you on the next one.